his whole career and certainly this year. So we got to be locked in, be disciplined in the rush, and try and affect him here on Sunday.
Jarian's obviously been inside, outside for you guys.
Yeah.
Just what did he show you guys on Sunday? Do they give you guys that much more confidence in him?
Yeah, I think Jarian came up with a huge play early, and to me, that was a really detailed, disciplined rep within what we were asking him to do on the snap. And just the majority of the game, I felt like he did a really good job for us. I thought he had a good summer for us, you know. I think he's grown a lot. Like you said, we played him inside, outside, so he does multiple things for us, and I think he's done a good job since he's been in there so far.
What type of guy is Trayvon Walker off the field, like in the building?
Great dude. Great dude. He's a team-first guy, works his ass off every day, but like a great human being, you know what I mean? He's a hard guy not to love, and he's got such a team-first mentality. He's played through injury, as you guys know, and he's done a great job, you know, for us top to bottom. And I know he was in on a few the other day, so I think that's coming for him, and yeah, he's a great dude.
How much is that hand impact?
I think he probably impacts him more than he would tell you, you know, here and there, but I think he's done a good job with it. I've seen a couple other guys deal with a similar injury, and I think Trey's done as good a job as anybody I've been around with that type of injury, you know, which is hard when you're playing D-line, but I think he's, you know, going out there, giving us a great effort, 100% effort, and making some plays for us through the injury.
What do you think of the danger guy?
Tough kid. You know, he's on tilt 100% of the time, so he's running around all the time. He's a tough physical kid. I think he comes from that. You know, he's got a family full of wrestlers there, so he's no stranger to hard work. And he's done a really good job for us, so I'm happy for him. You know, he does a good job for us when he's out there.
From your perspective, what's been the struggle within the fourth quarter specifically? You guys are generally very good first three quarters in most of the games. What's been the issue in that quarter specifically?
Yeah, that's something we've looked at. I've looked at personally. You know, what we're doing in those situations, what we're calling. You know what I mean? Just making sure that we're in the best possible situation. That's something that we got to be better there. Obviously, you know, stating the obvious. You know, so we got to be in better situations, and we got to be able to finish those games in the fourth quarter because we're right there. And obviously, you know, losing that one the other day, nobody's happy about that, right? So we got to be better in the fourth quarter for sure.
Coach, Liam said the other day that, you know, there are penalties, and he said there's the penalties like what Trayvon got hit with, and he said he wasn't going to, you know, about to dress the guy down for that. But when a penalty like that occurs, when it just looks like the guy made a play, how difficult is it to coach guys to, you know, kind of rein in their instincts a little bit and tackle the quarterback the way the refs think you should tackle the quarterback?
Yeah, it's just part of the game. You know, we're always trying to show them a strike zone tape and all that stuff. And some things are out of your control. You know, it's bang bang, and you just play the situation as it plays out. You know, defensively, as coaches and players. But we try and do the best job we can, just getting them in position. You know, where you're going to make a legal hit, make legal contact on somebody, which, you know, like I said, it's bang, bang, you know, not easy to do, but yeah, we're always trying to coach it.
Defense just thrives on instinct and emotion in that bang, bang situation. That's what defense is all about. But is it getting increasingly difficult to coach guys to figure out where that line is?
I think you're just trying to coach within the rules of it, honestly. You know what I mean? You really got to coach, keep your head out of it, staying in the strike zone, you know what I mean, for the health of the players and everything. So it's just all part of coaching it, honestly. Every day we got to make sure that we're hitting that. And like I said, trying to show tapes of that stuff every week too.
Williams said yesterday that you guys are seeing more like quick game passes on first and second down than maybe anybody else in the league.
Yeah.
Is there something you look at and see like why teams are attacking that way?
I think part of it is we've done a pretty good job in a run game. So you see a little bit more first down pass when that's the case. Been through that before, but yeah, I think it's probably has something to do with that. And then, you know, obviously coverage is getting called in that situation, so you're always looking at that, self-scouting that and evaluating that for sure. That's part of it.
Herbert's been pretty good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
How do you balance containing that and still being aggressive and getting after it?
Yeah, you got to have a great rush plan against guys like that. You know, it's similar to like when you're playing against Pat Mahomes, guys like that who are really elusive in the pocket. You have to have a good rush plan and not be behind the quarterback and giving them B-gap step-ups, that whole deal. And you got to do a good job in the interior as well. That's not just the edge. And really trying to make sure that everybody is square in front of the QB and you're running stuff that gets guys an opportunity to pressure the passer and all the while keeping them in the pocket. Like you got to be on point with a guy like this because he is, as you said, he is legit and he's done a great job with his feet the whole year.
So how much of a challenge, or is it a challenge at all, I should say, with you having, you're getting acclimated to Greg Newsome, you now have Jarian Jones in and out of the lineup between, Jordan's injury, and just trying to figure out the guys that you have and what they're comfortable with within the game plan?
I think our guys have done a really good job with, like you said, just different guys going in, like in terms of trying to execute everything we're asking them to do. But when you're in those situations, you got to keep it moving, mixing coverages and stuff like that. But they've done a good job learning it. We have some, like you said, some different guys in there. I love the guys we got. To me, I'll ride with these guys. I'm excited to get going on Sunday. There's only one way to fix things, and that's work your ass off. That's what I know. There ain't any other way to go about it. There's no other answer. And they've been doing that, and our coaches have been doing that, and that's what's the most important thing is that we come in here and grind every day, find a way to get better, and work to get a W on Sunday.
When the pass rush isn't getting home with 4, what's the challenge for you as a coordinator to sort of have that balance to where you're trying to get home manufacturing some things, but also wanting to keep the coverage tight?
Yeah, like we've done some different things over the course of the season, and then like even in the game the other day, some different stuff, that resulted in some good stuff for us as well. And going through that in my career, just, different stops and stuff, you always pick up things that you feel like can help that way. But it's rushing coverage together, right? So it's not giving them access on throws so the ball can come out quick enough so the 4-man can get there. It's mixing it up. From my perspective, changing the picture for the quarterback and the opposing coordinator so that they don't have access to get the ball out as quick, right, too. So that's part of it. But, yeah, it's definitely a myriad of things, and that's always the challenge, I think, every Sunday. But we got to do a great job of that this week. I know that, Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. You guys are slowly taking over.
That's exactly.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah.
Hey Grant, Liam talked yesterday about how him and Trevor talked about just kind of letting it rip, taking the throw when it's there. What have your conversations with Trevor been like in terms of that, and just how much does he need to just go ahead and just let it loose?
Our conversation's been very similar. I think Liam and I and Trevor were all aligned in that he has all the ability in the world. He knows the system. He's got a lot of reps at it. He'll continue to improve as we get better, but we want to let him go out there and play fast, play free. And there are opportunities out there that we need to do a better job of probably creating those or giving him the mindset and the confidence and the understanding that he can play fast and play free in those opportunities. So look forward to the opportunity for him to do that this weekend, but absolutely have all the confidence in the world in him. So hope he feels the same to go out there and play fast and free, just like Coach said.
What does it say about Jacoby and if he was able to contribute the way he did just being here a couple of days?
It's a testament to his work, his intelligence, to be able to go out there and even line up. I don't think I'd be able to break the huddle if I tried to show up in a week and then go out there and play in a game. Really, really impressive for him to do that, to go out there and not only play, but to do it at a high level. Knew what he was doing, didn't have to ask guys all the time, where am I lining up? What am I doing? Where am I trying to go? Who am I blocking here? So super impressive from a mental standpoint. And then the physical standpoint, too. I don't think people realize how tough it is to hop on a plane all of a sudden. You're moving in the middle of the night, and then you're doing a physical early in the morning. You're getting everything together. People are trying to take all your time. You're short on sleep, probably short on nutrition, and then you got to go out there and play in a totally foreign environment. So really impressive all around.
Offensive line, how can you get more from those guys?
There's a lot of things that go into it. I think as coaches, we always want to start with trying to evaluate how we can put them in better positions for success. And whether that's the protections that we're in, the run calls that we're in, the formations we're in, or how many times we're doing different things. How can we continue to find the things they do best and continue to do those in new or different ways, or ways that are designed to attack that defense that specific week? So we're always going to reflect on how we can build things for the offense, for those guys specifically, that put them in better situations. I think they've played at a high level before, and we've seen it, and they played at high levels in times of those games, just like all the positions. I think every position during that game had points of the game where they wanted to improve or wish they had performed better, and had points of the games that they wish they could have back and do over again. And the O-line is no different. I have confidence that that group of guys will rally together, continue to play together, and continue to build upon the things that we've worked on all through the offseason, all through training camp, and continue to protect and run block like they've done earlier in the year, like they did at times during that game.
How much of it is that they've just run into some really good defensive fronts like the Texans front, or that they're just struggling?
It's a mix of everything. I wish I could sit here and say it's this one thing, and if we just fix this one thing, this one pass set, or our cadence, or we stop doing this protection, that would solve all of our problems. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. There's so much that goes into it, whether it's, like I said, the calls that work, the game plan and the scheme we're putting together for them, certain routes, the timing, are they coming open on the right time? Are we getting the ball out on the right time? Are we hitting the right spots in the run game? Is it a different front? We've played some great defenses, like you said. We embrace that challenge. We enjoy the opportunity to go against some of those top defense, really some of the best fronts in the league we've had the opportunity to go against. So it's a great test for those guys, but it's something we got to embrace, not necessarily use as an excuse, not to say that we're saying that you were saying that it'd be an excuse, but certainly something we would embrace, but recognize, hey, we're playing the best of the best. We embrace that challenge, and we'll continue to go attack whoever they put across from us.
The Chargers defense, just in terms of what they bring to the table, how much of a challenge is that?
It's a lot in a couple different ways. They do a great job with their scheme, very, very tied together with the rush and coverage, coordinated super well. You can tell those guys, when they're on the same page, they're playing at a really high level, and you've probably seen over the last couple of weeks them continue to ascend, which makes it a great challenge for us. They've gotten guys back healthy, and the guys are really playing at a high level in that scheme within their roles. They've got guys at the first level, really good rushers, outside and inside, really. Linebackers playing at a high level, and then the defensive backs, they've had some turnover there, but the guys they've got in there now are playing at a really high level and coordinated really well in the back end. They provide some different looks that really the defenses we played earlier in the year haven't shown from a coverage standpoint, the way they play certain coverages, and really the way they even play certain fronts and run fits. That'll be different for us to go against that, but it's a great challenge, a new opportunity for the guys. Then third down, you're kind of going to say the same thing, different pressures, different blitz packages. So it's a unique defense to go against for the guys, and they do a really great job of executing it.
You can get Strange back this week. How much does it open things up?
Strange is a huge part of our offense, and you see probably, unfortunately, it took his absence a little bit to really see how much he impacts opening things up, not just in the pass game. He's a great target for Trevor, and I think they seem to have a connection. When things break down, Trevor seems to find him. He's an explosive athlete, so even when he's looking to him first in the progression, you get matchup issues with Brenton Strange matched up on linebackers or even safeties at times, because he can run away from guys. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. He wins running routes on corners sometimes, which is super impressive. But in the run game, it's a huge deal, all the different things he can do. So when you say open it up, he quite literally can open up defenses sometimes by coming across, splitting defenses, inserting in gaps, pulling around. And then at the point of attack, he can block defensive ends, bigger guys at times. So it really creates a lot of opportunities. When he's taking a defensive end, now you got another offensive lineman on a linebacker. So it creates mismatches for us. Having him is a huge part of our offense.
How challenging has the turnover at wide receiver been this year? Parker popping up on the injury report. You already have given some reps to Austin Tramble, got called up Tim Jones.
Yeah.
You traded for Tim Patrick middle of the season. You traded for Jacoby Myers middle of the season. How challenging is that? I guess that rotation, that turnover been?
Yeah, there's certainly a challenge to it, and would love to have Travis back healthy too. And you lose him just right as he was starting to really hit his stride there in the LA game in London. But it's the challenge we all signed up for. I think back to that moment at the end of the game where Tim Jones is running across the field against Vegas and makes that big catch, and it's a route that he never really got to practice with Trevor. He had never thrown and caught that route with Trevor, and he goes out there, Trammell's in there winning on that play. Tim Patrick is in there winning on different routes where he hasn't got the opportunity to run those routes. So those guys are facing really a tremendous challenge to go out there and execute at the highest level against the best of the best without having the opportunity in practice to do some of those things. Now, it's our job to try to limit the amount of newness and try to make sure that what we put on their plate is stuff that they can go out and execute. But it's been a lot of fun to see them embrace the challenge, something we're going to have to continue to do as guys go in and out of the lineup. That's the nature of the beast. We knew going into the year, very rarely do you make it throughout the year with all 11 starters playing every single snap of every single game for the whole year. So you knew it was something that was going to come up. Unfortunately, it's probably been a little more than anybody would like, but those guys have really been doing a great job of not flinching when the opportunity comes, just stepping up, doing what's asked of them, and trying to embrace it.
Chargers being 7th in the league in sacks, like how do you balance that, figuring out which side's going to get help and knowing that they have guys on multiple areas of that line to kind of have your task to take away? Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's the tough challenge of it. And when you play these great fronts like these guys, it was a similar issue last week in Houston. There's only so many guys you can help. If you double team everybody, you got nobody running a route. So you're certainly trading off every time you try to find a solution. Every time you say, I'm going to fix this issue, you're causing a problem somewhere else. So it's a delicate balance of choosing those issues wisely and then trying to mix and match, helping a little bit here, a little bit there throughout the game so they can't get a beat on, we're always helping this way, or we're always protecting this way, we're always protecting a certain way, or we're always trying to set up formations and protections in a certain way. So you got to mix and match to keep them on their toes, but also mix and match to balance out the help as it's spread around. So that way guys have plays where they know, I've got help on this down. Unfortunately, there's going to be the flip side of that for those guys, where there's going to be a couple plays you say, all right, you're one-on-one, we need you here to come through in this moment. And that's the nature of the beast. And that's when those guys are really called to step up for the team and for the other 10 guys on the field.
All right, you guys good?
Awesome, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.